Alright, so we're checking out this podcast microphone from NearStream, and this one is the AW-AM10U. Quick look at what's in the box. Got a user's manual, got a warranty card, got a wind muff for the microphone, got a USB-A to USB-C cable, so this one does work with PCs. Also have a 3.5mm audio jack cable as well, so it should work with your standard 3.5mm cameras. This is the base of the microphone, metal and rubber on the bottom. Pretty heavy actually, so it should work well as a desktop microphone if you're using this for podcasts on your PC. I personally am going to be using this for voiceovers. So you got an arm here, adjust the height, and you got your angle adjustment here, and this is basically like a standard tripod mount. I think that's what the microphone has, and a 1/4-inch thread screw here. And on top here you have your 8 microphone elements, so you can use this in a variety of different ways. There's 3 different pickup patterns. There's bidirectional, so you could have audio picked up from either the back side or the front side. You have cardioid, which is just from the front, which is like a standard microphone, and you have omnidirectional, which will capture sound all around. So we'll test that out a little bit later in the video. So you got a little switch here. I think that's some sort of a volume indicator or gain indicator. So it looks like there's 3 positions. I believe this button is a mute button, so you can mute the microphone if you're wanting to mute it. And then these are the 3 different modes for the pickups that I mentioned earlier. And in the back here you have USB-C for use with your computer, and then you have a mic out, 3.5-inch mic out that will probably work for most cameras, and we'll test that out. And then we have a headphone jack for monitoring your audio. Nothing on this side. You just have your tripod mount here, so you could mount this on some other things like a desktop mount or something like that, other than what's included. And here are the specs on the back, 5-volt inputs. Nothing on this side. This looks like maybe there's a little port here for a reset button. I'm going to go ahead and mount the microphone here on this stand. And it looks pretty good. And then obviously if you're in a noisier or windier environment, you can just put the wind muff on. Alright, so we'll get this connected up and do some tests here, see what the audio sounds like. Alright, so a couple of things before we do a sound test. I'm still recording the audio on the mic that's on my camera. I'll show you that here in a second. I did want to point out something on the USB cable. It's USB-C on one side, USB-A on the other side, but this is actually an adapter. So you should be able to do USB-C to USB-C. I'm going to see if this will work on a smartphone. Probably will. I mean, most smartphones can take a USB-C microphone, and then we'll also do an audio test with the 3.5mm cable. But keep in mind that this particular model is going to be powered from the USB-C port here. It's not going to get any power from the 3.5mm jack, so we're going to have to provide some external power to this microphone to get that audio. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick test of the microphone from the 3.5mm audio jack, and it's connected to the camera. It is on the standard settings, directional, and in the middle gain setting here. I did have to adjust the gain on the camera a little bit down, so the audio is probably maybe a bit on the loud side. So let me change the setting to the low gain. That should reduce the gain on the microphone overall. And I'm about a foot away from the edge of the microphone here. So you probably have to play around with the gain on the microphone and on your camera if you're going to be using the 3.5mm audio jack. And you can see here I'm still plugged into USB-C for power. But you can use this on standard 3.5mm audio input sources to get audio from this particular microphone. Test out the different modes. I think the cardioid or directional is going to be the best mode. That's this one here. This little infinity is the, I think that is bidirectional, and then this circle is omnidirectional. And you're going to have different, sound quality, voice quality from the 3 different modes, and then the gain here. I think it's going to depend on how far away this is away from your mouth. The closer it is, you probably want to reduce it. The middle one is probably going to be best for most situations, and if it's further away, then you want to increase the gain. And we'll do a sample test for each of those. I'm going to have right now it's just connected to my PC via USB-C. I'm just going to use the built-in Windows voice recorder app to record the audio, and then I'll have the audio recorded from the camera app or from the camera microphone, and then I'll go back and forth and I'll tell you which one's which. And just in case anyone is curious, this is the microphone that I use pretty much on all my videos. This is from Saren. It's a little tiny microphone, goes on top of my Sony ZV-1 as on the cold shoe. So this is going to be used for comparison because this is probably the audio that you guys are mostly accustomed to, and then we'll compare this to the new NearStream microphone. Okay, so we're going to do a comparison here between the Saren microphone and the NearStream microphone. And here's just an audio test from the Saren microphone. There's no noise cancellation in this microphone. It's built in. Like the NearStream has some built-in noise cancellation, but this one does not. And there is a garbage truck outside, literally like 10 feet away. I can hear it pretty loudly, although you might not be able to hear it on this microphone over my voice. But I'll kind of stop here and pause for a second. Not sure if you can hear that. Okay, so switch over to the NearStream microphone. And the garbage truck is actually not quite as loud now. I think it moved away a little bit, but you can still hear it in the background. There is automatic noise reduction in this microphone, so it's going to cut down probably a lot of the ambient noise. There isn't much here in the room that I record my videos in. I try and record in a pretty quiet place as much as possible. Right now there is a garbage truck on the street outside my window, and I can still hear it a little bit. Probably won't be able to hear it on this microphone, and I'm just using this on the standard settings. I'm about a foot, maybe like 13 inches away from this, the tip of the microphone. I'm in the cardioid, so it's directional. This is going to be ideal for this particular microphone. But go ahead and I'll increase the gain because I think I am a little bit far away. So I just increased it to the maximum setting. Probably is going to be a little bit louder now. And I think for this distance, I think about 14 inches away from the tip of the microphone here speaking, this is probably going to be better. So I'm going to bring this closer. It's going to bring it off camera and set this to the standard middle setting here. I'm going to bring it closer to my mouth. I'm now about 6 inches away, speaking in a normal tone of voice as I normally do. So I'm not going to adjust any of the audio gains in this one. You're just going to hear it as is. So you may need to increase or decrease your volume on whatever device that you're listening on and watching this video on. And I'm going to go ahead and drop it down to the last or lowest setting here. So this is going to be the least amount of gain. So I'm going to bring the microphone even a little bit closer here. So so about 2 inches away from the tip of the microphone, speaking in a normal tone of voice. And I'm going to gradually move the microphone away, and you're probably going to see or hear a reduction in the volume or the gain. And so it should be a little bit less in terms of volume right now because I'm now about 14 inches away on the lowest setting. So you guys can have an idea what the gain is like on this one. Go ahead and set back to the middle. Actually, I'm going to set back to the highest setting here because it's kind of further away from my mouth. The garbage truck is come back. It's I don't know. It's really close now. It's super loud. So you can compare what this sounds like now, background noise wise, compared to the Saren at the beginning. I think if this is doing a good job, you're probably not going to hear it very much. All right, so I'm going to use the mute button here, and let's see what that sounds like. So when the red light's on, the mute button is active, and of course during that period there, you probably didn't hear anything. Now I'm going to switch to the mode here. All right, so I'm on the highest gain, and I'm on the omnidirectional settings. So this has a 8-element array, and so it's going to try and capture all the audio from from your surroundings. So it's not, even though I'm speaking in this direction here, if there happens to be other noises, it's going to pick that up, on the sides and the rear. So basically a sphere of audio. But probably this sounds less loud compared to before, compared to the directional mode. All right, so we'll switch this to the bidirectional mode. So we'll have, basically this is going to be good for interviews. So if you're going to be using this mic interviewing someone could be speaking on this side, and then someone could be on the other side here as your interviewer, and that should give you an idea of what the audio quality sounds like there. But I think compared to directional, this is going to be a reduction in the gain overall compared to just being directional only. Bidirectional is going to probably split up that gain across the front and the rear of the mic. Okay, so in this bidirectional mode here, I'm going to see like what it sounds like as I'm rotating the microphone. So obviously it's going to sound really good at this point pointing at me, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate it around, and let me know what you guys think of it in terms of how it's sounding as I rotate this around. Now I'm speaking to it from behind in the same tone of voice, no louder or quieter than before, and that should be similar to the way it sounds when it is pointed directly at me. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this video in terms of the audio test of this particular microphone. Let me know what you guys think of the audio quality down in the video description. Really curious what your thoughts are on that and your comments. The link will be in the video description for this, down in the video description if you guys want to check it out. Pretty good price for a podcasting microphone, this USB style. Typically, some of the really high-end ones can be like $400 and up. I think this one is, with the coupon, is around 55, I think, or 60, somewhere there, perhaps as low as 50. So if you're curious about the price and the discounts, they change all the time. That's how it is on Amazon. The latest price, you have to click the link down below. It's probably going to be in that range, the $50 to $60 range, which I think is a pretty good price for this and the audio quality you're going to get out here, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of podcasting, voiceovers, things of that nature, where you're going to be using it for social media, etc. This is a very good value, I think. Anyway, it's going to do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.